Hello again. The dust collection system I was doing for the Triton, I made a bit of an assumption, unfortunately. I don't know how well it's showing up here, but this bucket is 290 mils across, which is too small for the Triton bucket. I found this bucket. It's an older one, and it's 300 mils outside diameter, which is the exact same diameter as the Triton one. Because I guess these must be older compared to the new ones, because I've been to several paint shops and various bits and places. The 290 ones apparently are the newer ones. Who knew? So that was unfortunately a bit of an assumption I made on my part. The other thing I didn't like is the lid wasn't very strong. It was too flexible. Like as soon as you tried to put any weight on it or anything like that, it would just buckle and bend, and especially when you cut a hole in it for the funnel. So that's gone. So we're going to use this. I'm going to make it out of 15 mil ply. So I'm going to take this top off, get access to the table saw. I've got it marked out. I'm going to square it up, and then I'm just going to trim it out. And I've put in a temporary block on the router table, and that'll be the next step. And I've got my lovely measurements here. Because we're using everything in half, so this measures 300. I'm going to go 305, 310 actually. So it's going to be one. So the outside cut is going to be a circle cut of, from the middle out is going to be 155. To get the lip and the inside, which is 285, is going to be 142, which again is half of that, 142 and a half, I should say, millimeters. And then said funnel, new funnel, which is actually a lot stronger than the one I had before. That's going to be an interior cut of 122 and a half. I haven't quite figured out on the router how I'm going to do that. I may end up doing that cut first and then doing the outside ones next. I think that might be the easiest way to go there. Anyway, just thought I'd update that on going, yeah, I screwed up because I unfortunately made a measurement assumption that the buckets were the same. The big clue was I couldn't get the Triton head to sit on the smaller buckets enough to make any sort of impact at all, let alone trying to sit it onto the bigger bucket. So, lesson learned. I should have probably measured everything out and gone to the store first, but I didn't, and like I say, I made an assumption that a bucket is a bucket is a bucket. But anyway, that's clearly not the case, and I'll progress as things go through. Cheers. just point out, I've measured from this cutter, which is now proud, to here, which is 155 mils, and it's going to get loud. I'm going to turn this on. It's proud. I'm going to hold on to it, and this should just spin around and cut the outside circle. It should. Oh, whoops. If I give it energy, electricity. Yeah, that jumped out. Where's my other block? Why did you jump? So I think the bit might have been a bit old, as you can see it burned around the outside. Also, my jig I think slipped a bit on cutting the outside, or the inside I should say, but it doesn't matter because it fits. The groove fits over this bucket before, what I think will be a decent tight seal, which is good, which is what I'm after. Now comes the fun part of trying to mount, focus, that onto there. So I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't have enough radius on my table jig or table router to do that. Whether I decide to actually cut this freehand or not, focus, freehand or not, I don't know. Might be an idea. I'll have to have a think about that and get back and see how we do. Cheers. So just a bit of an update. This is cutting out the circle for the funnel. I'm just using freehand my little 1/4" router, which is not doing it too badly. I might have to clean up some of the stuff. I was only using a pencil line, but now I've put on a much thicker line. And I've done half of it, so I'll come back and show you how it all turns out. So, again, freehand, not 100% as smooth as I like it, but it fits. A few screws in the edge here, trim that off, or maybe I might, yeah, I'm going to trim that off, and the next one will be the corresponding hole in the bottom of this bucket, so it fits on top. And I've also got some latches, which I'll show how I'm going to hook those up in a minute after I'm done cutting a hole in here. But proof of concept for freehand, not bad. Not bad at all. There we go. There's the finished product. Like I say, I'm trying to avoid my hands in front of the camera here. The ring is on. I'm going to screw it to the funnel itself, but the funnel is nicely caught in that bucket, and I'm probably just going to use what do you call it, PVC glue, just to glue that in, and then we'll attach this ring to the bottom of the rest of the bucket here with a few screws, and that'll be that. And I can hardly wait to get it to go. I don't know whether I'm going to have to cut off the actual funnel here, but I reckon with the amount of dust that's coming through it, this should be okay. I'll have to make a judgment there later on down the track and see how we go. See you in a bit. Well, just a quick test. It appears to be working okay, except I think the bottom of the funnel is a bit small. As you can see, that's things are accumulating there. But everything else is dropping down below, so that's a good progress. Back in a bit. So just an update about this dust cleaner. Because my vacuum cleaner is pretty average, but until I can get that corrected, I've sort of done the feel thing, and I think what's been happening is because of the nature of the lid being convex, in a true feel thing, this would probably work the way I had it before, but because, of course, MDF, everybody's favorite material, the fine dust was getting into the vacuum cleaner and clogging up the the filter there. So, sorry, bad angle on the camera there. So I've sort of built the Thiel type thing there. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it all on the camera. But you'll notice it's got a tab on here. And the only difference is I'm going to sit it on the, so my hand's blocking it, is the outlet. I'm going to actually retweak that. Still got a longer piece. I'm going to retweak it. I've just screwed it in there temporarily just to test it, and it seems to be working fine, or better, like given the limitations of the El Cheapo vacuum cleaner that I've had for, I would say, at least a few years. So I'm going to go with that, but worst case scenario, I got these vent filters. I think this was a Bunnings thing. I think it was less than a couple bucks. What I was using these for was our, sorry, that's probably better if you can read it. What I was using them for was I took two, folded them up for a camper trailer, because it's got a fridge in there and needs air circulation to do run the 12-volt fridge. But of course, as any Australian knows, as soon as you get off the main road, you get into the red dirt and dust everywhere. The filter that was on there was pretty average, and it was already clogged, so I just got a bundle of these things. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. So I think I'm just going to try it with just this shield on, and if that doesn't work, I may end up gluing around the edge some of these finer vent filters, just to, because the bag on that vacuum cleaner is, I've washed it, I've cleaned it, I've tried to do as much as I can to keep it running clean, but time will tell on that, and I think I'll keep you up to date on that as things go, but like I say, it's just a cheap, used, free home vacuum. Like I say, eventually I'd like to get a proper shop vac. I've seen a couple brands up for sale recently, because of course in Australia we've just gone through the end of financial year sale, but there's a couple of places that do grey imports of these vacuum cleaners, so I might go that route and get one of these grey imports and see how it goes. Cheers. Thanks again. Bye.